Welcome back to another incredible Reddit Stories compilation. Today we're diving into our /Pettyrevenge with 4 amazing stories that will keep you hooked from start to finish. Subscribe for more daily content. This story is titled Band Teacher Told Us We Were Failures. We rickrolled him at the winter concert, posted by you/Reddit where it's too. Hey guys. I'm new to this subreddit, so sorry if this is the wrong sub. Every year, the students in the honors music classes put on a concert for teachers and parents. This is completely student-led, so no teachers know what the songs are. We have a senior who's basically in charge of everything. She was given permission to approve our songs and make sure it was nothing inappropriate so it could be a true surprise. My band teacher is problematic, to say the least. He has a short temper, and I don't think he really wanted to be a teacher if I'm being honest. He got mad at us in class one day and blew up at us, saying stuff like how we were hopeless and had no talent. Not true, in case you were wondering. We got plotting. My friends L and N and I had the idea of rickrolling the audience, so we got composing. Basically, we started off playing some traditional band piece, then the music stopped, and the tenor sax played the intro to Never Gonna Give You Up, and it went from there. Was epic. The look on the band teacher's face was priceless. That was one concert for the history books. This story is titled Roommate Refuses to Wear Clothes in Winter and Cranks Heat to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. She doesn't understand thermodynamics, so I'm using a pot of water to trick the thermostat, posted by you/Organic Talk 79. This next tale takes us in a completely different direction. As the weather had been getting colder, I have come back to my apartment multiple times to find that my roommate has cranked up the heater to 79 or 80. I'm perfectly fine with that temperature during Phoenix summers where we live. But 80 inside when it's 40 outside is probably just as expensive as running 70 inside when it's 110 outside. We run heat on electricity, not gas. Either way, she claims that she has anemia and is sensitive to cold temperatures but refuses to wear more clothes. She regularly walks around in a spaghetti tank top and shorts, buy a space heater for her room, allowed by the lease, or find any alternative method to keep herself warm outside of turning the apartment into the desert. I have thyroid issues and cold intolerance as well, but I put on more layers like a normal person. Wanted to run the apartment at 73 or 75 during the hotter months, yet apparently she cannot tolerate lower than 78 in the winter. Does not care about finances yet has shown to be financially irresponsible. Out of the 3 or 4 months she's lived here, on 2 months I've found notices from the landlord on our door that she hasn't paid rent yet and has to cough up or get out. Our rent is on separate leases and we're not liable for each other, so it doesn't impact me. But our utility bill is split in half before it's even billed. Our third roommate moved out, so we're splitting the cost of utilities for a 3-bedroom apartment. And I doubt either of us can afford running the heat so high. Does not understand how the HVAC works, and refuses to believe the cost will go up significantly running the heat at 72 versus running at 80. She also told me she doesn't even look at the cost of her electricity. Eventually, we settled on 76 after her choosing to ignore my texts asking to talk and actively avoiding me in the common area. It's okay when the sun's out, but the other night, the heater turned on 3 times between 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., and that was my last straw. I looked up our thermostat's manual online and changed the temperature offset setting from 0.5 to 2, so it doesn't run the moment the apartment drops to 75. I also changed the maximum heat setting to 76 and locked the thermostat so that she needs to press the buttons in a specific combination to be able to edit the settings. She's not exactly the brightest crayon in the box given she doesn't even know how the HVAC works, so I doubt she will figure it out. That was normal and all, but after looking around, I found the thermostat is mounted on the living room wall, and directly on the other side of that same drywall is our pantry. If I put something on one of the shelves, it would be directly behind the thermostat. I took my cooking pot, filled it with hot water, wrapped it in towels, and stuck it on that shelf. The heat should permeate through the drywall and convince the thermostat it's warmer than it actually is. The sun keeps the apartment warm in the day, and every night, I've been sticking a pot of hot water in the pantry. I store some random stuff in there. So a pot wouldn't look out of place at all, not that she has ever opened the pantry. Either way, the heater barely runs, and she still thinks it's 76 degrees. This story is titled "My Employer Stole From Us Every Shift. But I Kept My Mouth Shut," posted by you/QTG. This next tale takes us in a completely different direction. We had 10 12-hour shifts, but only got paid for 10. The boss took off 30 minutes for our lunch breaks. However, we were required to work during lunch. He forced us to answer calls and wait on customers during our unpaid lunch, but this is illegal. He must have saved over $100K on payroll in the 5 years I worked there doing this. Anyway, when I became a shift manager, I made sure we took 2-hour lunch breaks, an hour break in the morning, and an hour break in the afternoon. And on slow days we would stand around do nothing for hours at a time. All the while the job was being done, mind you. The owner never found out, as he never worked alongside of us. He would drop in on Fridays to pay the bills, and occasionally call us to check in on things. In the last year alone, I would sit in the break room on my phone for hours at a time, only answering calls and talking to customers as they came in. I reckon in the last year 1,540 hours a week were spent doing absolutely nothing. Accumulatively, I must have racked up close to 2,000 hours doing absolutely nothing in a 4-year period. I always showed up on time, stayed late, if needed, made sure the job was done correctly, and always treated the customers with respect. Anyway, he promised me health insurance when I turned 26. But when it came time to do it, he mysteriously couldn't afford it, so I left. The next job I worked at, a hospital billing department. We had our work queue laid out on our screen every morning. I would shred through the queue in the morning and sit on my ass the rest of the shift. I carry these lessons with me wherever I go. This story is titled "You Scratch My Car, I Snitch You Hitting People," posted by you/BrokenBanabian. And now for our final story of today. So, my neighbor's daughter's keyed my car and has scratched the back of my vehicle several times over the last 5 months. With the winter weather and the lack of neighborly neighbors, a lot of spots aren't shoveled and cars are getting stuck. I haven't seen one neighbor shovel or even the city pass by. But I have a Nest camera, so it caught the daughter struggling to pull out for 5 minutes. I also recorded with my phone, because my camera got accidentally disconnected, and I knew she was going to end up hitting somebody. Well, she did, and the neighbor's daughter literally scratched up the back of the vehicle in front of her and hit the front of the car when she skidded out the spot. Here's the bigger problem, because she parked not just once, but twice in the same spot where she got stuck again. She hit the same car 2 days in a row. I've been waiting for 3 days, but the owner hasn't checked on their car yet. I left a note with my number in case they wanted the video, though. I'm still waiting because I want my petty revenge. I can't prove the damage on my car, but I can definitely prove the damage on the stranger's car if they let me face with tears of joy loudly crying face. Even now, 72 hours after the fact, homie hasn't touched their car. I don't know who you are and I don't know where you live, but I wish you'd read the note and text me so I can send you the proof. Edit: the daughter's is in her 40s 50s. I've always wanted to use Imager. Comment batch 2 Friday 7 a.m. He finally moved his car. It's a man beaming face with smiling eyes. Friday 10 p.m. Sorry guys, he didn't text my number, so I guess he didn't care enough. And that's all for today's Reddit stories. These incredible tales never fail to amaze me. Subscribe for more compilations like this. What did you think? Drop a comment. Thanks for watching.